you have to go through this stretchy, messy, like dirtiness, right? To step up into that leadership. Like I wanted to hold more space for more people.
Welcome to the Dare to Share Challenge. We've got another incredible guest as August is taking off by storm. If you have just landed here and you're wondering what you've stumbled across, the Dare to Share Challenge, what is it all about? It's all about real and raw leaders coming onto the stage and daring to share their truth, their stories, their vulnerability, so that you and I see the human behind the perception, so that we remove all of these smoke and the mirrors and we pull back the curtains and we actually realize that all of these people, these leaders that we look up to, they're not actually so different after all. It's just that most of them don't normally show that until now. So that being said, Natalia, welcome to the stage.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Don't need to look so scared. I know. It's okay. Don't worry. I've got you.
It'll be great.
It'll be great. So before we dive in, I just want to ask you, why did you say yes to this challenge? Because I'm always really intrigued, because a lot of people will be in my DMs and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, the movement is so great. But they are not brave enough to come onto the stage for whatever reason. Whereas you were like, yes, I'm in, let's go, let's do this. And I would just love to know, what was your thought process behind that?
Something as far as like, since I started my business, that I have had people come and tell me is that they appreciate my authenticity. And that's not something that I want to lose. And especially the last few months, there's been so much going on. Like maybe I really just need to like speak on this. And so it felt like a really great way to do it. And then I was going to create content after this based on my share, you know, kind of tie it all in together. But that was why. We're human. And I completely agree with you. There's so many people, I don't want to say pedestaling, but right, like you look at them and it's always good and always good and always good. And it's just not the case. And my consults and the DMs all the time are the same way. They're scared, or like scared to work with people. And so I'm always sharing my human in there, right? But we don't share it as much on the platform.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that so much. And it's that sometimes we feel like there's so much going on that there's not enough time or not enough space to even share all of it, even if we do want to. So for you guys watching, we're going to ask Natalia a couple of questions. We're going to dive deep. We're going to peel back the layers, and we're going to really find out who she is, how she leads herself, and what is going on behind the scenes, behind all of the success and behind the curtains that we see online. So Natalia, I want to ask you, what level of vulnerability are you going to share with us today? So we have two options, okay? So we have stretchy, which is your hero's journey. It's your story. It's something that you've experienced, but you've overcome, and you're now on the other side. Or we have the extreme level. And this is something that you're experiencing, you're navigating, you're processing in real time right now. Where do you want to take us today?
Extreme, for sure.
Extreme, baby. Let's do it. I love this share so much, because this is the kind of vulnerability that doesn't normally get shared, because most leaders wait until they have learned the lesson, until they have come out the other side, and that's when they'll start to share. So for leaders coming on here and really showing where they're at right now takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, and a lot of balls. So that being said, let's dive in, shall we?
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, so question number one. What does being a real and a raw leader mean to you? And we're not just talking about in business, right? We're talking about the woman, the human, the person behind the scenes who has an everyday life that maybe your audience, your community, the people watching now aren't part of, you know? But that realness and that rawness, what does that mean to you and look like to you in your everyday life?
It means not asking anybody to do something that I'm not willing to do. So it means doing the deep work and being willing to question everything all of the time when things come up, like never being so ingrained in a belief that I'm not willing to ask, is this actually serving me? Yeah. And to be able to be honest with myself too, if like I've put myself on the back burner, because no matter what it is, it happens, right? We get so caught up in things, and then we start to lose sight of why we're building this in the first place. And so being able to come back to that. And that's what I've been doing lately, is really coming back to that.
I love that so much, about when you said it's about doing things that you wouldn't ask someone else to do if you're not willing to do it, right? And how many of us, we get to that point where we kind of expect of others things that we wouldn't do ourselves. And I think that's such a strong integrity to hold as well, and to maintain as we grow as business owners, because we can get so caught up in delegation and in, passing the buck to other people. And it's like, we have to also get our hands dirty. We have to also be willing to do the things that we expect of others. So I really love that, and completely admire that. It's a really beautiful trait to have.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, are you ready for the big question?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to ask Natalia what she's willing to dare to share with us today. And I want you guys to know that I never know what anyone coming on the show is going to share. I'm equally as surprised and eager as you guys are watching. But the key is to really stretch their vulnerability, to really get uncomfortable, because this is what we want. We want to see leaders going first. We want to see that they also are willing to do the things that we have to do, that we have to lead ourselves through. And by them giving us that permission slip, we get that green light to say, okay, we can do it too. So with that being said, Natalia, what are you willing to dare to share with us all today?
It's kind of a multi-part journey, I guess, but it's basically from April until now, like just kind of what's been happening. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. So just backstory, so you can kind of see where I was at when this all started transpiring. I had hired a different mentor than I'm working with right now back in September, working with them. I was also in prep for a bodybuilding competition, which was in May. And so by April, your brain is just like not wanting to work in general. You're just depleted, like as far as nutrition goes, everything. And I had also been in my business doing these things with this mentor for a while, and like nothing was working, right? And internally, I was like, something just feels off, and it kept getting worse and worse. But I was equating it to like, well, I'm in prep. This is what's going on. Like, I'm just going to keep pushing through. And the hard part is like part of my gifts are it's intuition and it's channeling and it's all of these things. And I was ignoring my own, right? I felt it, but I wasn't going deep enough to actually see what was going on. And so I kind of just stopped doing anything, which is scary, right? And then in May, right before my competition, I kind of fell back, truthfully, into like old patterns as far as who I would take on as clients and why. Right? Things that I'd grown out of, things I didn't want to do, but it was like the comfort. This is just, I'll work with who I have now and then who I'm taking on. All of those clients, all of them, or the people who wanted to work with me, they ghosted, or ones who signed defaulted on their payment plans like the next month, right? But honestly, it was just like the gift from the universe to be like, oh, I saw exactly what I did here. And and I'm grateful for that reminder. Like, I drew a hard line in the sand. And I also reached out to that mentor and realized that all of those things, like I believe in the divine masculine and feminine, both. Like I'm not a coach that'll say just be in your feminine. I feel like there's a part for both in the intertwining, but everything they'd wanted me to do, and I know what they do works for people, but it was so not me. And I wasn't willing to do it. And it was like cold calling and just so much that was out of integrity with me. And I didn't move on it, but that's why I had been stalled for literally months and like no progress. I had BS systems, and I was dealing with a lot of shame because I was like, I invested, 5 figures in this mentor, and I realized it was my ego that was keeping me trying to do the things or stalling, not taking action either way, because I was like, I invested this, so I need to lean in, right? Because I believe in utilizing the mentorship you lean into. And that was when I finally drew the line in the sand. I was like, nope, I'm tearing all these systems down. I'm rebuilding simplicity. Like I'm coming back to my roots. So in June, I told them that, and actually it was very well received. She said that she was proud of me when I said, I'm not doing this. Like, I can't. That's why I've been stalling. That's why I haven't done it. Right. But it took me taking myself back to the place where people were defaulting, back to a place where I felt super discomfort to come to that head with myself. So I energetically shut the doors in June and rebuilt everything and got really back to my passion and my fire and leveled up in an identity, which again brought the imposter syndrome. Like, to be honest, one of the biggest things is like I work with women who are making, 7 figures. I've helped people grow to 7 figures, and I'm very capable. I hold a big space. I do big work, but I haven't made 7 figures yet. So I know I will, but I have not yet. And so the imposter in me was like, well, you're talking about this, but you haven't done it. And so I was like, keeping myself small instead of being proud of the work that I'm able to do for others. And the ego was like, but you haven't. So like you're small, you're not good enough. You're, all of those things. And also sitting with, I'm sure people who might have dealt with body image things before, post shows, my second one, your brain wants to rip you apart, and I knew it would happen, but like I'm losing my leanness, my shreds. I'm putting on body fat again. And so it's this really gentle time of like balancing your hormones and loving your body again. So there's so much emotion going into trying to love myself through just loving my body when my brain wanted to be mean and to take me down to my business and to be bold enough to not take on any clients, to not do anything in June, right? Because it's like, we also pay our bills. This is our business. This is our foundation. So to say I'm ripping it all down, it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I did that. And again, at the same time, I shut the energetic doors, did all that. And I was like, I know I need like the mentorship that I need, right? That aligns with me. And that's how we connected is I joined the mastermind, and instantly I felt the energetic support that I needed. And to start growing. And I did so much in the last 4 weeks. Like, it's insane. So I do speak very highly about getting yourself in a room wherever it is. Like, it's magic. Put yourself in the room. But it didn't make sense, right? To invest, make a couple $1,000 a month investment into myself while I'd shut the doors to my business, like energetically, right? It didn't make any logical sense. So that's one of the things I'll say to anybody is, I don't ask you to do something I won't do. I'm like, I make moves, right, when it's the most illogical ever, but that learning how to regulate your nervous system through making big shifts like that. And that's something that I work with people too, is like holding that space when it's chaos. And so that's where I've been in, is in the depths of like every single day I was waking up and just having to breathe because I was so uncomfortable. And like fear comes up, right? Fear never goes away, never. And I don't care how much you're making. I watch people all over, right? Behind the scenes, fear comes up, but we don't normalize that fear even comes when it's good things, right? Like the unknown is just, it's the unknown. So it's going to be fear. So I spent all of that time breathing through, breathing through all of this. And now I would say like I'm in the middle of coming out into the other side, where I've reopened my doors, I revamped my spaces, I've been taking on like my dream clients again. Like, it feels really good, but I know I'm doing it with integrity, and I know I'm doing it from like this place of where I needed to go, because like reclaiming this identity of what you want, you have to go through this stretchy, messy, like dirtiness, right? To step up into that leadership. Like, I wanted to hold more space for more people. And so I'm grateful for all of that, but I'm still like, that imposter still wants to creep up and say all those things that it still does. And yeah, so I guess like that's kind of where I am now, is like things have been growing. But there's one more thing I wanted to touch base on, is like, for me, if you're familiar with like the sisterhood wound or the witch wound, it's like your spirituality wound and your sisterhood wound. So I know those have been big ingrained in me, right? And so as I've stepped into speaking about being a channel and being intuitive, it's felt really good, but I can see that there's still this wall that I'm trying to break down to talk about it more. And that's like what I'm really trying to step into now, is because there's the fear of like, you won't be able to support people who believe something different than you. And the truth is I can, but it's up to them to discern for themselves, not for me. And I grew up religious, all of the things that come with that, the shame for doing that. Like, I push these gifts away forever. And that was all of my life leading up until when I finally questioned everything about 3 years ago, which is a whole nother what brought me here to you today. Um, but like in the group, there's just like maybe even last week, I was asking for advice on something, and I realized I realized it was not silly, but something I should know. And I felt dumb. Like, I'll just put it that way. My brain was like, you're so dumb. You asked this, like, you should be embarrassed, all of the things. And I was like, oh man, like we're shedding another layer of the sisterhood wound, trusting that these people are actually supporting me, because I can remember even memories back to my childhood, like walking in and hearing friends talking down about me, or, you know, I have those things. They're so deeply ingrained in there, even though I love who I am now. And that took me a long journey to get to just that deep self-love. But I realized that was coming up. I was like, where is this coming from? And it was because I'm in this space that is expanding me so much in the energetics, that it was like who am I to be with these people? And so that's the inner work, I guess, that I've been shedding too, is like what parts of me do I still not feel worthy to have that, right? And when I had opened my heart back up last year to somebody who I considered like a really close friend who had come back into my life, something like happened, and it like wrecked me. And I realized there's still that wound, and I still miss that person, and it still hasn't been fully healed. And so like that's all of the things that have been going on like behind the scenes that that you haven't been seeing to now, to where I am now.
This so much, Natalia, because on like our journeys are very, very similar. Like everything that you're saying, I'm like, yeah, like the whole burning everything down and stopping everything, you know, that's exactly what I did. That's what birthed this challenge and this movement, because I lost myself and I had to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna stop. And it is scary to stop, because like you say, we have bills to pay, we have families to look after, we have responsibilities. And especially, you know, I'm a single mum, it can feel like the weight is on your shoulders. But when you allow yourself that space to really come back to self and to block out everything else, oh my God, just the speed and the depth and oh God, and then the sister wound stuff, like so similar. Like I've had a massive journey with my sister wound, and last year I thought I had healed it, but it still comes up now. You know, there's still that sense of rejection and that why aren't I good enough and all of this stuff. And for you guys watching, you know, these are terminologies you may or you may not be familiar with, but essentially it's things that we all feel. You know, not feeling good enough, feeling left out, feeling like we don't belong in a certain space, feeling like everyone is doing so much better than us, when the reality is they're just not sharing what they're experiencing behind the scenes. That's the only difference. So Natalia, this is so incredible. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. Truly real and raw leadership right there. Can you please tell everyone how they can get into your incredible world right now and where they can find you?
Absolutely. You can find me on Instagram at I am Natalia Richardson.
Beautiful. And make sure you do, because Natalia is such a beautiful human, a beautiful guide, and just being in her space is going to help you grow, help you expand, and help you reach your next level. So Natalia, thank you so much for joining me, for braving the stage, for sharing so vulnerably and showcasing your own real and raw leadership. And to you guys, I will see you all for the challenge tomorrow. Bye for now.